Crespo's one of the hosts for Let's Talk Football, the Round Table. And Let's Talk Football Ladies.
Hey.
Takeover.
Hey everyone, it's Delilah Crespo again with another episode of Diversity with Delilah. All right, so today I'm going to be covering Larry Brown, former running back for the Washington Commanders. I'm sure Sean will appreciate this one. So he is from nearby Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He graduated from Stanley High School. His original interest was actually baseball. But then he later developed an interest in football, and he played football in college in Kansas at Dodge City Community College and Kansas State University in Manhattan. In 1969, he was drafted 191 overall in the 8th round by the then Washington Redskins, now the Washington Commanders. He played 8 seasons with Washington. He was the first Washington running back to gain 1,000 yards in one season. That was in 1970. He made one Super Bowl appearance. That was Super Bowl 7. This was against that perfect season Miami Dolphins team. So we all know what happened on that Super Bowl. Sorry, Washington fans. But there's a reason I'm talking about Larry Brown. I just want to describe his accomplishments and then explain why I'm covering him on Diversity with Delilah. He made 4 straight Pro Bowl appearances from 1969 to 1972, 3-time first-team All-Pro selections in 70, 71, and 72. He was named the NFL MVP in 1972. He was also named NFL Offensive Player of the Year in 1972. He won the Burt Bell Award in 1972. He won the UPI NFC Player of the Year Award in 1972. I mean, just a bunch of just amazing things happened to Larry Brown in 1972. He was named one of the 80 greatest Washington players. He's also in the Washington Commanders Ring of Fame. His career total rushing yards was 5,875, 3.8 averages per carry with 35 rushing touchdowns. So Larry Brown was the first known football player in the NFL to have hearing loss. He had a hearing disability. Brown was deaf in one ear. Brown's coach, Vince Lombardi, because the people do forget that Vince Lombardi was also a coach on the Washington Commanders, not just for the Packers. So anyway, so Vince Lombardi noticed that Brown would often tilt his head to listen or stand really close to his teammates to hear what they were saying. So Lombardi asked for Brown to have his hearing tested. Brown was, of course, terrified. He thought, oh my gosh, once they learn that he's hard of hearing, there goes his NFL dreams, he'd be dropped from the team. But he actually wasn't dropped. Lombardi actually really pushed for him to get the support he needed. So he was given permission to wear a hearing aid in his helmet. And as we know, like I read all those accolades, Larry Brown went on to have a successful career in the NFL, regardless of his disability. I realized something as I've been doing Diversity with Delilah for a few years, that I was leaving a huge segment on diversity, and that is people with disabilities. And so I'm going to make sure that I cover some of those players, coaches, anybody that I find that's involved in the NFL that has either some form of disability. I'm going to make sure that I cover them, especially if they have some success, just like Brown. So again, successful NFL player, did not allow his hearing disability to keep him from succeeding and being the best that he can. Unfortunately, he retired in 1976 because he just had too many injuries, and that's why his career was cut short in 1976. His number 43 hasn't been officially retired by Washington, but it hasn't been issued to any player so far. So although not officially retired, his number 43. So there you have it. Larry Brown, the first known player in the NFL with a hearing impairment, had a successful career. and didn't allow an impairment to keep him from his dreams. But understandably, he was nervous, but good for Coach Lombardi, making sure that his player had support he needed and didn't diminish it and didn't take away his Larry Brown's dreams just because of a hearing loss, and instead made sure that the NFL allowed Larry Brown to have that hearing aid so that he could hear the plays, right? So he could know what's going on the field. So that is this week's Diverse with Delilah. I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and I will see you next time with a new episode and another NFL person to cover. Bye.
Yeah.